Please, Rob Zombie took Loomis to a new direction in Halloween 2. He made him built up on media. He got a new book coming out about Michael Myers, and it just so happens, he's making a lot of money off it, and he's going to conventions and stuff. And eventually comes to Haddonfield. But there's one quote from that movie from him, and I know we said this when we were talking about earlier, but he says it, and it just kind of sets the tone for what he really is. And for some reason, it always stuck with me. And he says, "I want a couple of PG tips, and I want a sizzling hot."
My favorite scene in the movie with Dr. Loomis has to be the book signing when the parent comes up and he's all upset about Dr. Loomis writing about it basically his daughter that got murdered, right?
Yeah.
And like
Christina Cleve, I do believe, his father. I can't remember her name in the film right now, yeah. But that's the actress who played her.
Yeah, and he's like, it's probably Dr. Loomis's best scene in the movie because it really captures, his character. And I mean, you see, this is the thing. Dr. Loomis is a really round character, and Rob Zombie, because his character changes in the second movie, and that's what a round character is. They change. People want kind of like a static character. They don't want his character to change.
People don't like change.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. And this is not John Carpenter's Dr. Loomis. This is Rob Zombie's. Rob Zombie can go any direction he wants. He's a filmmaker. He's allowed to make those choices. You know what I mean?
It's not John Carpenter's film anymore. Once Rob Zombie got the rights to it, he took it and he rolled with it. And personally, I think, like to everyone who doesn't like the film, because they don't like change. Nothing against Donald Pleasence, because I think he's one of the greatest actors alive. Yeah. Was alive for it.
And that's Donald Pleasence's take on it. This is a totally different take, right? I mean, that's
Ellis' take on it. And I think he grabbed the ball and he went with it and he slam dunked the shit out of that role.
Yeah, I gotta agree. And if I knew that he was just going to be the same character, it wouldn't make it interesting seeing the sequel. But seeing how his character changed made it interesting because you're seeing something totally different.
The film, he kind of comes back and saves himself from all the stuff that he did wrong. I mean, he comes in, he rushes in the shed where Michael's holding Laurie and pretty much sacrifices himself to save a little girl.
And really, I hate it when people try to take a remake and they say, the remake has to be exactly like, the original. No, it's got to be different. Not only that, but it's got to be different if it's a sequel. Definitely. Yeah. It can't follow the original story of the sequel because that's just going to be boring. I don't want to see a cut.
Or distinct. Why do you want to see it again?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You want to see something totally different. You want to see Dr. Loomis's character change. You don't want to see the same thing. And I think Malcolm did a fantastic job of Dr. Loomis, and I like Rob Zombie's take on it. Yeah.
Yep, I totally agree with you.
I like the fact that he kept Laurie as the same character. And he re-envisioned Michael's backstory, and I like how it all came together in the sequel with Dr. Loomis. I thought it was fantastic.
Another thing I really liked about the film is the mask. For the first time since the first two films of Halloween series, I mean we have 10 Halloween films now.
Yeah.
And for the first time in a long time, I really enjoyed the mask. It made Michael almost Tyler Mane, who plays Michael, but he could actually act through the mask without actually having the blink, smile, do anything. For an actor to do that is something that's very, very hard to do.
I like the original mask and I like the re-envisioned mask. I thought they were both really good. But I like that, Rob Zombie tried something different in both films, and I like how it all came together, and I like the unrated director's cut. And, some people might be mixed on the second one, but we can all agree that it's a totally original movie for what Rob Zombie did.
Yep. And he had a lot of trouble making this film.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know you've known this or not, but when he was filming this film, a lot of the scenes and such were actually burned in a fire.
Yeah.
And he had to redo a lot of the scenes, and because of budgets and time cuts, he didn't actually get to make the movie he wanted, but he got it as close as possibly could because of what happened.
Yeah, I remember him saying that it was kind of rushed, and that's why there's a theatrical cut. But he said he wanted to go back and redo the cut that he wanted, and the unrated cut is what he originally wanted. So.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of pressure on him from the company itself to make a movie. When he wanted to do something, they would say, "No, you can't do that. You got to do this." And of course, that's what the theatrical cut was, and the director's cut was his own film.
Exactly. What you think of Lords of Salem?
What I've seen so far, I'm really looking forward to it, and that's a lot to be said considering there's barely any information about this film now, or any. There is a trailer, but it was a live trailer shown at a show of his, and you can't really see it.
Yeah.
But for a lot of the people who haven't heard of Lords of Salem, I'm going to give you a little quick summary of what the movie actually is.
Okay.
Heidi, a blonde rock chick, DJs at a local radio station, and together with the two Hermans, Whitney and Munster, forms part of the Big H radio team. A mysterious wooden box containing a vinyl record arrives for Heidi, a gift of the Lords. She assumes that the rock band on a mission to spread their word. As Heidi and Whitney plays the Lord's record, it starts to play backwards, and Heidi experiences a flashback to a past drama. Later, Whitney plays the Lord's record, dubbing them the Lords of Salem, and to his surprise, the record plays normally and is a massive hit with listeners. The arrival of another wooden box from the Lord, which presents the Big H team with free tickets, posters, and records to host a gig in Salem. Soon, Heidi and her cohorts are far from the rock spectacle they're expecting. The Lords of Salem are returning in their outer blood. That's the plot summary from IMDb.
It sounds really original.
It does.
That's
really
what,
unique.
That's what I like about it. I like the fact that Rob Zombie's not doing another remake, but he's doing his getting back to his own original stuff again. That's cool to see. And I like the fact that he's trying to make witches scary again. That's cool to see. Because there hasn't been a scary witch film since the 90s or 80s, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Kind of, to me, from what I've seen from the trailer, it kind of had a feel of Dario Argento's Suspiria film.
Mm-hmm.
With that and Tana Murray and stuff, and just all the witch elements of just randomness of pretty much of what witches can do in the world.
Yeah.
And how doing it. It's pretty awesome to see. And obviously we haven't seen much of the film yet, but I'm really, really looking forward to it. I think the more he keeps from us, the better my expectations will be for this movie.
I felt it felt kind of like a Clive Barker kind of style because just the way the shots were filmed. I thought that kind of felt almost Hellraiser-ish, like the original Hellraiser, which I thought was really cool. Because they
I've seen a Candyman, I do believe, which is by Clive Barker.
Yeah.
But I can see what you mean. There's a lot of shots in Candyman that are reminiscent, maybe, of Rob Zombie, perhaps. Or Rob Zombie reminiscent of Clive Zombie. For sure.
And it feels really original. It doesn't even feel like a Rob Zombie film. It feels like the trailer feels like he's doing something totally different, which is cool. It's not like I heard he's not going to use like a shaky camera. It's going to be like stationary.
Yeah, it's almost like he's breaking into his own niche, I guess you could say, and he's creating something of his own, unique, new, fresh, maybe to revitalize the horror scene once again. The only real directors lately that have been doing it for me, such as that, are Ty West. I mean, he just came up with The Innkeepers. I thought it was a fresh take on a ghost story, and other than the Paranormal Activity movies that are coming out each year that are mediocre at best. I mean, yeah, they're a bit scary for the average watcher, but I mean, I've seen 3 of them so far in theater. I haven't been scared once. Honestly, no jokes. You can ask my friends.
Some people complain that he uses the same actors in every movie, but I gotta say that the actors he uses are fantastic. I mean, his wife is a fantastic actor. Sherry
really is.
Zombie. She really brings her all, and I think she's gonna fit right in here as a DJ. I think, any role that she plays in any of his films is really good.